Hey everyone, it's Rainash30, and today I've gone through the evolution of Rogue Superman to recap every time he went rogue and wasn't just evil in the DC animated timeline. So without any delay, let's begin. So starting with his first appearance in the DC Animated Universe series, Superman the Animated Series, Lois Lane accidentally travels to another universe where she discovers that this Superman has become ill-patient and brutal, but now has a different suit and insignia. Over his inability to save her doppelganger from dying, and realizing that being a hero wasn't enough as not everyone followed his example, he partnered with Lex Luthor to control Metropolis. It's only after Lois helps him learn the truth that Lex imprisoned innocent people and planned on killing her that he'd stop him and restore the city. Then, in the finale of the series, Superman is captured and is taken to Granny Goodness on Apokolips, where he's brainwashed into believing Darkseid is his father. He was given a new origin where after his rocket landed on Apokolips, he was raised by Darkseid. Now with an apocalyptic suit, he aids Darkseid's army to conquer other planets, and as a reward, Darkseid grants him his own planet to rule, Earth. As he leads an army, he begins his assault with his original insignia, and targets military bases so the planet would become defenseless. While his mind later becomes clear and he defeats Darkseid, the invasion was watched globally, and it begs the question if everyone would ever trust him again.
You're nothing like the Superman I know. He's no tyrant.
For too long, I fooled myself into thinking I was doing a simple cleanup job. I didn't realize it was a war. And suddenly, you were a casualty of that war. And I knew I had to stop it by whatever means possible.
In the future DCAU series, Batman Beyond, Superman returns to ask for Batman's help to uncover a mole in the Justice League. As he reveals that a JLU member was intentionally injured, other members are close to being killed, including Warhawk, though after seeing the footage, the JLU discovers that Superman's the traitor. Believing this is out of character, they find the creature Starro controlling Superman, so Aqua Girl communicates with it to reveal that it's been controlling him for many years and has bred more Starros to take over the world. With the Justice League later under their control, Batman electrocutes the Starro on Superman, allowing him to regain control and help save the JLU.
It took over Superman's mind. It's been on him for years.
Years? Then why'd it wait so long to try to kill us?
Because it has bigger plans. Controlling Superman wasn't enough for the creature. He was using Superman to help him cultivate these things.
Looks like they were going to be released into the ocean.
Now in the team-centered DCAU series, Justice League, we once again look into another dimension where we find Superman and the League attacking the White House. Busting into the Oval Office to arrest President Lex Luthor, Superman realizes that being a hero always gets in the way, and that as Lex killed the Flash and will no doubt cause problems again, he incinerates him. After 2 years, we learn that Superman and the rest of the League have their outfits redesigned and have become rulers of the world, known as the Justice Lords. Though, as if one Earth wasn't enough, they imprison another universe's Justice League, and Superman leads the Lords to take over that world, starting with lobotomizing Doomsday.
There are at least 6 different ways I can stop you right now.
But they all involve deadly force, don't they? So go ahead, lock me up, but I'll beat it. And then we'll start the whole thing all over again.
But if this is where it leads, I'm done with it.
With his final appearance in the DCAU in Justice League Unlimited, a secret division within the government called Cadmus was created on the belief that if the Justice Lords went rogue in their universe, the Justice League can grow too powerful in this universe and could possibly go rogue as Superman did. Since Cadmus is funded by Lex Luthor, Superman is unknowingly influenced to do things that could ruin his image, like battling Captain Marvel over an unharmful device. So, when Cadmus later kidnaps the Question, Superman decides to go rogue by teaming up with Huntress, and they attack Cadmus's headquarters to rescue him, where he also discovers his friend's betrayal.
The Justice League plays by the rules. We'll move when we have solid evidence, not before. And we'll move within the limits of the law.
That's why I quit.
But you may have a point this time.
So?
So you and I will do this together. And we're doing it off the books.
In his animated standalone film, Superman Doomsday, after his endless battle with it, he's killed in action. Thought to be dead, when crime continues to rise in Metropolis, he miraculously appears to save Lois from Toyman. It's later revealed that he's a clone Lex Luthor created with the original's DNA, but while they don't share the same mind, After hearing that Toyman escaped prison and killed a young girl, his mind snaps. He decides to go rogue by setting an example, starting with killing Toyman and later revolting against the police. Becoming more furious when discovering more clones being bred for evil, he strikes against the military and battles the resurrected Superman.
Toyman would have killed again. An example needed to be set.
But you've never done anything like this in the past.
I see things differently now.
But what about the law?
Yes, won't there be repercussions?
I consider myself the authority on what's best for Metropolis, don't you?
That is not the boy I raised.
In the final season of the animated series, The Batman, Superman and Batman team up when Metallo attacks and some of Batman's rogues gallery kidnap Lois Lane. Learning that Lex Luthor hired them, he pays him a visit until Lex places him under his control using Poison Ivy's mind control spores laced with Kryptonite. Now with Lex as his master, a device provides continuous exposure to the spores so he will indefinitely be a slave, but also lead Lex's army of robots to take over the world. While Batman destroys it, the spores have taken their toll, and still under Lex's influence, he's ordered to destroy Batman, where we see a large clash between the two heroes.
He was a little resistant last night, so I thought I'd give him an extended dose. No one will dominate the Earth again.
Except for you.
Well, someone has to be in charge. And who could stop me except for Superman? And he may turn out to be the most valuable robot of all.
Teaming up once again with the Dark Knight in Superman-Batman Public Enemies, Lex Luthor is president, and despite not trusting him, Superman agrees to meet him. Discussing the incoming Kryptonite meteor, Superman is set up when Lex's bodyguard Metallo attacks him, but after Metallo's mysteriously killed, this gives Lex the perfect opportunity to manipulate the footage of their encounter. He then blames Superman for Metallo's death and issues a $1 billion bounty for his arrest. So, Superman and Batman go rogue as they try to stop the meteor but become public enemies in the eyes of the media and are forced to fight supervillains and enlisted superheroes sent after them.
John Corbin was murdered. In other words, the radiation from the approaching meteor is affecting Superman's mind. He's a danger to us all now. In accordance with that, I am announcing a bounty on him, in the amount of $1 billion.
Going rogue again in another Dark Knight series, Batman the Brave and the Bold, Lex, knowing how close Superman is to Lois and Jimmy, sends them gifts of red kryptonite to turn the public against him. After defeating Toyman and meeting them for an interview, Superman is exposed to the kryptonite and suddenly snaps into an aggressive personality. While he almost killed Toyman, he begins making life unpleasant for the people, but then decides to turn into a tyrant and become Metropolis's new ruler, King Superman. Continuing to make the public dislike him, the people start revolting, and he's forced to fight an armored Batman who defies him.
I am your king, and I will punish you for your treason!
Leave the city alone. I'm the one who defies you.
I'm only doing what I should have done long ago. Take over this planet of weaklings.
Returning to another standalone film, Superman vs. the Elite, the world rallies for the Elite, a new group of vigilantes, since they approve of them killing their enemies to avoid them causing future trouble. As they attack Superman, he decides to follow their example and reveal his limitless abilities. He eliminates most of them, and looking like he's driven insane, he leaves Manchester Black for last so he can let loose with his true power where all bets are off. Releasing all his anger, he lobotomizes Manchester's powers, and civilians are caught in the crossfire, until he reveals it was all a ruse and his robots help protect the public.
They saw the ugliness of violence as a solution, and it frightened them. It frightened me too when I decided to cross that line and do what you do. It's so easy. Anger. Vengeance. Luckily, I'm not you. And I never will be.
Making his rogue debut in the DC animated movie universe film, Justice League vs. Teen Titans, after Superman sets up a movie date with Wonder Woman, he gets exposed to an entity that slowly takes over. As his date concludes, he begins to get visions of its master Trigon, which changes his personality and makes him go crazy trying to get the visions out of his head. While he returns as Superman to deal with Atomic Skull, he doesn't hold back and almost kills him, and with the entity completely taken over, he builds Trigon's portal and awaits his arrival to decimate the Earth.
He's barely alive, Clark. What's wrong with you? He's not himself.
The rising is coming. You cannot stop it.
Superman, someone is controlling you.
The girl will be taken.
Appearing in the Teen Titans Go film, Teen Titans Go to the Movies, Superman and other superheroes attend the premiere of Robin's new movie, but unbeknownst to them, the director whom all superheroes worked with for their movies is actually Slade Wilson in disguise. As the Teen Titans unmask him, he activates and unleashes his Doomsday device so everyone around the world is placed under his control, including Superman. Since the Titans still pose a threat, he orders Superman and all the superheroes to destroy the Teen Titans.
How are we supposed to defeat the world's greatest superheroes?
Returning back to the DC AMU in the film Reign of the Supermen, after Superman's death when he battled Doomsday, 4 new Supermen appeared. While the Eradicator executes his extreme form of justice, the true rogue Superman in this film is Cyborg Superman. After he claims to be Superman to gain the people's trust, the Justice League disappears during an attack, so he creates a cyber core by fusing people with mother boxes. As we learn that he secretly works for Darkseid, the core opens the gates to Apocalypse so Darkseid can attack the Earth again. Instead, Cyborg Superman disobeys his command and sends his core to attack Metropolis.
Superman turned me into this. Darkseid only rebuilt me and taught me how to wield my hatred as a weapon. I was set to a singular purpose. Destroy what remains of Superman. His good name. It was the best revenge I could hope for.
In his final appearance in the DC AMU, in Batman Hush, Poison Ivy heads to Metropolis to escape Batman following her trail. While Bruce silently investigates Clark at the planet, after he leaves, we see that Clark is under someone's control. When Batman and Catwoman later locate Ivy, Superman makes an entrance, threatens them to stay away from her, and is commanded to kill them. While the effects slowly wear off, Ivy uses her synthetic kryptonite lipstick again, so he follows her commands. Though as Batman keeps him occupied in a sewer fight, he fails to snap Superman out of it and resorts to Plan B.
Stay away from her.
You heard my Superman. Lover, kill them.
Tell me you have a plan.
Yes. Run.
In an alternate universe, in Superman Red Son, instead of landing in Smallville, Kal-El grows up in 1950s Russia, where he's raised to believe in the ideals of the Soviet Union. As he becomes the Soviet Superman, where he has the Soviet Union logo as his insignia instead of an S, he works directly for Premier Joseph Stalin. After learning from Lois Lane that innocents are being held in a lead-lined prison, his old friend dies in his arms, so he kills Stalin and becomes the leader of the Soviet nation. As he then expands his ideals across the globe, those who retaliate or refuse are lobotomized until they won't pose a threat to his vision.
You live your lives enslaved to the capitalist elite. In the name of peace, I tear down this wall.
It is only a matter of time, very little time, until all of Western Europe is absorbed, is taken by the Soviet Superman.
Ending with his last rogue appearance in the film Injustice, Superman loses it when the Joker kidnaps Lois, but exposed to the Scarecrow's fear toxin mixed with kryptonite, he finds Doomsday and sends him to space. Realizing it's Lois, whose heartbeat flatlines and triggers a nuke in Metropolis, in one full stroke, he loses his wife, his unborn child, and his city. Fueled with anger, he breaks into Arkham Asylum and kills the Joker. However, he decides to bring peace by eliminating violent criminals and turns the planet into a police state. As his kill count continues to rise, showing how far he's been driven from being a Boy Scout, he even decides to kill teens who insult him by idolizing the Joker.
This can't go on.
Don't. You'll throw away everything the Justice League stands for. Everything you stand for.
I won't be held back by ideals that don't protect the innocent.
You're grieving.
No more, Bruce. No more. We were wrong.
Now, with the end of his evolution till he makes another appearance, which version of animated Rogue Superman was your favorite? But make sure to drop a like, subscribe, and follow me on Instagram for updates. And until next time, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next evolution.